Before I let you go, I just want to do a couple quick hitters on some of your other films that you were in, Casey. Is it true? Is it true that all your lines in Good Will Hunting are ad-libbed? There were no lines for you in that, you ad-libbed them. Is that a true story?
They had lines for me. I just didn't say them. There were written lines, not many.
All right.
Believe me, all the best lines they could come up with, they gave to themselves.
Right. So how far off were your lines from the written page then, Casey?
I can't remember. I can't remember the written page on that that one. I had done a couple movies, and I had worked with the guy who was directing that, Gus Van Sant. I had already worked with him, and I was at school, and I really wasn't that interested in leaving school to go and make that movie. Kind of sit around in the background, sit in the back seat of the car while those guys played hero, and but they kind of bullied me, and so I did it, and that's why I just tried to ruin every scene by making up my own dialogue.
No kidding. So there was, I guess I should say, how about them apples is really what I should say right there. I'm sorry. I should go nail that one. And you give me your best ocean story. Give me your best ocean story from that set. You got one? I know you're laughing because I don't know how many of you can actually tell, but give me a good one.
You know,
good ocean story, Casey.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
I've heard of that. Yes.
Yeah, we shot. Let's see, the best ocean story I'd say is radio friendly. Is that I had a kid. My son was born on that movie. That's hard to beat. On the second movie in Amsterdam, we were shooting, and that's when my first son was born. That's not the kind of story you were hoping for.
That's
I think,
okay.
But it was 2004, and my next son was born in 2007. I don't know if those years mean anything to you, but
you're going Red Sox on me there, aren't you? Okay.
God damn it, you're good, Rich. So. Yeah, I didn't have another kid the next time, but
well, I guess if you don't want any more children, it's good that Mookie Betts is no longer on the team.
Casey. You know what I heard, man? I listened to your interview with Anthony Mackie, which I thought was really funny, and I worked with Mackie, and you asked him for his best story from whatever he did with Eminem.
8 Mile, yeah.
That was a great story, man.
It was great. Well, I had no idea, so I don't know if I have no idea if Clooney came up with lines to give you crap or anything. So I guess let me ask you this then: did you guys play poker or whatever on the set, or anything go down? I mean,
yeah, I can't even really remember being on the set. All that I really remember was the times afterward. I mean, it was a lot of poker. There's a lot of hanging around. Everyone's in the same hotel. I mean, we shot the first one in Las Vegas.
Amazing.
So I lived in the Bellagio for 3 months, and I don't remember going outside that much. You go into one of those casinos, you could there could be an apocalypse happening. You wouldn't know. Right. Just everything got food, anything you need is there. I liked one of the things I remember is that the producer Jerry Weintraub, sort of famous old movie producer, he really liked to take care of his big stars, which I was not one of them. So there's 11 guys. I was number 11. And it made me mad because I sort of thought, why are these guys? They have all their food and their laundry, anything they need handled is handled. They have people already who can do that. They got all the money in the world. They can pay for their own food. But every time I had to sign a check, at this casino restaurant, I was paying that bill, man. So I just got everyone else's room number, and I would just start signing.
Yes. Yes.
That went on for a very long time. The payback for that was that I guess it was the second movie or third movie or something, I showed up, and this was Jerry Weintraub's idea of a joke. I barely even noticed, but it was, they had you'd go to the set of one of those movies, and there'd be a long line of 10 of these luxury trailers where everyone, between their scenes they get to go hang out in. It's bigger than my house. And there's 10 of them, and then there's a small used tent that has been set up for me to spend my time in. Those sorts of things went on all the time. That was a good group of guys. I don't know if you've ever had Don Cheadle on the show. He's a great guy. Of course,
absolutely. We've had him and Matt Damon, and And Soderbergh, years ago when we were a podcast before we were this show, we had Steven once. We had him be the media critic for a Super Bowl, like to just look at the Super Bowl and talk about the play-by-play and the broadcast and what it looked like. And it was dynamite, as you might imagine. It was just, he is truly one of the greats ever and just a brilliant mind. And I can't say enough about him.
Yeah,
guy.
very, very talented guy. We would shoot, be done by lunch most of the time. And I've never met anyone. And then he would be editing in the afternoon. He could kind of do it all. And he played ball, I think, he played baseball in college, I think. I can't remember where he went, but he was an athlete too.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.